Nice. So we got another win with the Fab strategy. This is just incredible. I love this strategy so far. Hey everybody, Mark here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I've got a brand new strategy for you today, and this is called the Fab strategy, F-A-B. And this is it's an exclusive strategy only for the VIP members inside of the Wealth Warriors Alliance. But I'm going to give you a preview because, yes, it's that good. Now, the way this works, you're going to be using the Bollinger Bands, the ADX indicator, and also the stochastic oscillator, which is also going to be added to the chart. Now, what you're looking for here is you're waiting for the regular candlesticks, one of these candlesticks, to break outside of the Bollinger Bands. But it must close outside of the Bollinger Bands, just like this. Each corner of the candle must be sticking out of the Bollinger Bands. If you're still within the Bollinger Band area, it does not count. It needs to be outside of this line here of the Bollinger Band. Okay? Now, you also want to keep an eye on the ADX indicator, which is down here. This line here, this orange line, this needs to be below 20% on the ADX. Okay, or you do not enter. And then over on the stochastic oscillator, this must be showing either overbought or in the oversold area. So the overbought area would be around 80 and the oversold area would be down here around 20%. Okay, so it's all these confluences, everything has to work together. And when that happens, you enter the trade. Now, if this is an uptrend, if you're breaking above the Bollinger Bands, then you're going to want to take a sell. If you're breaking below, underneath the Bollinger Bands down here, you're going to want to take a buy. Okay? Now, before we get started with some live charts, I'm going to jump over to a pre-recorded session just so I can give you some examples on how this works. Okay? So let's take a look right here. So we have a red candle breaking outside of the Bollinger Bands. This is what's happening right now. And as this is happening, I'm going to be looking down at the ADX indicator to see if this line is under 20%. And also, I'll be looking at the stochastic oscillator down here to make sure that I'm in the oversold area. So if it's a downtrend, if it's a red candle, we're breaking at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, we're looking for the stochastic to be oversold. If it's in the opposite direction, if the candles are breaking above the Bollinger Bands, which I will show you an example in just a moment, we will be looking at the stochastic for an overbought area above the 80% line. Okay? But both of these, the ADX must be below 20% on this indicator here. So there's several areas of confluence here, guys. We need to keep an eye on these just so we can make sure that we have the best entries. Okay, so we've got this coming down here. So let's go ahead and let's play this forward. We can see that breaking down. Now, I went ahead and entered the trade. Now, why did I do that? It's because this red candle here, at the time that I have landed on this chart, I can see that this red candle has closed outside of the Bollinger Bands. Also, we're in an oversold area on the stochastic, and the ADX is 20% or lower. Now all we're doing is waiting for a reversal in the market. So we've got one more second to go. There you go. So that has been closed out in profit. Now let's take a look at another situation here. Okay, so here's another one. We can see that we have a green candle breaking out on top of the Bollinger Bands, right? And we're waiting for this to close, and there's the close. And as soon as the close happens, I went ahead and entered the trade. So we've got both the top corners of this green candle have closed outside of the Bollinger Bands. Perfect. Now let's take a look down here at the ADX. The middle line on the ADX is 17%. So we're well under the 20% mark for this signal in order to take the trade. And we also have it, we're inside of the overbought area around 80% on the stochastic oscillator. So everything lines up, and sure enough, we have came out in a profit. Let's take a look at another setup. Now in this one here, I did not enter the trade after this first green candle when it reached outside of the Bollinger Band, because both sides of this green candle, the corners of the bodies of the green candle, did not extend outside of the Bollinger Band. However, the second candle did. That did close outside, so I went ahead and entered the trade and entered a sell in this scenario. So then looking down here at the ADX, we are under the 20% line. And of course, we are hitting the overbought area on the stochastic. And sure enough, we have another profit. So what we're going to do right now is actually jump over to the live charts. And let's take a look here. So I'll be using OTC, of course. And I'm going to remove some of these assets that are paying out lower than 90%, because we want to make sure we get the best bang for our buck and we have the highest return on our investment as much as possible. One thing that you can do is when you're browsing through and you're looking for a chart that has a proper setup, really all you need to do is just keep an eye on the ADX indicator, which is down here at the bottom of the chart. Because if this is not below 20%, you really can't take the trade anyway. So even if everything looks great on the Bollinger Bands, you're breaking out at the top or the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, you still can't enter the trade because the other indicators are not lining up properly. So what I'll do is I'll use the keyboard shortcuts on the keyboard, and you can turn that on with the hotkeys. You can activate and deactivate these. And so it's really simple. I can keep my mouse positioned and ready over on the buy and sell buttons over here on the right side, and I can just use Shift and Tab and quickly browse through the charts and look for a setup this way. It's just a lot easier, a lot faster than clicking the mouse. So let's take a look here and let's just see what's happening. So we've got an overall downward trend here, it looks like. We came up a little bit, but we're coming back down again. And so let's go ahead and move over to another one, see if we can find a deal here. That's above 20% on this ADX for this chart. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Looks like we could have had an opportunity on this one, but we're a little bit late. We're right at the 20% mark on the ADX, but it looks like that's crossing over, guys. We've got about 6 more seconds to go. But I don't know, that's pretty close, yeah. So that's a little bit risky. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We're gonna be using the Wealth Warriors Trade Manager for this tutorial. This is a highly advanced trade manager that is available to only the VIP members inside of our private group. And this is where you can win, and you can, even if you have losses, you can still win with trading inside of binary options, which really makes this powerful. All you have to do is enter in your initial capital, whatever capital that you have inside a Pocket Option. I've already done that. And the trade manager gives me the trade amount over here already. So it gives me the first trade amount that I need to use, $1.81. So that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and enter that. Great. And okay, this looks pretty decent right here. It's around 21% on the ADX. So that's really close, guys. A little bit risky. It looks like it's kind of coming down at a downward trend. So entering now, yeah, I'm not really crazy about it. And it looks like it barely closed outside of the Bollinger Band. So let's go ahead and look for another chart here. Something else that's kind of like like an A+ setup. Textbook setup, guys. This looks amazing right here. We've already, we've closed outside of that Bollinger Band there. We're down here, well below 20% on the ADX, but it looks like it's going against us. So what do we do if it goes against us? If this looks like this is what it's going to do, you could go ahead and enter another trade if you want to. What you can do is just enter or make this first trade a loss, and then enter the next trade amount, which is 341. And just prepare yourself, because you've had this break, it's broken out already from this Bollinger Band here. Let's take a look and wait for this, if it's going to close. One more second, guys, and I will go ahead and enter. So this little green candle, kind of an interesting how we have a green candle that has closed outside of a Bollinger Band on the bottom. But let's take a look at the ADX, and we're right there, guys. It's a little bit risky. We're just right above the 20% mark. But we are oversold on the stochastic oscillator. And so, I mean, personally, I like the setup. We've got about 8 more seconds to go. It's not moving up a whole lot, guys, but let's just go ahead and wait this out and see what happens. And yeah, so that was pretty close. Still has potential. Look at that. So now it's starting to move up. So we just missed it. And so what can we do? Well, we can mark both of these as losses, and that's okay because the trade manager was built for losses. It was built to protect us even if we have multiple consecutive losses in the market, and that's okay. Let's enter in the next trade amount, which is 632. So over here. All right, perfect. So let's just look for something else, guys. Let's just browse through here. And, you know, we do show losses on this channel. I show losses all the time. This is the reality. If you've been trading for any amount of time, you can see that this is happening all the time, guys. Okay, so right now we're below the 20% on the ADX, and we're approaching the oversold area on the stochastic oscillator. Let's see if we can close this underneath the Bollinger Bands here, and I will go ahead and enter a trade. And there we go. So I went ahead and entered. And we're just waiting for this to turn around. And if this does not turn around, guys, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and set up the next trade. So if I mark this as a loss, that'll give us the next trade amount for 1154. 1154, just to be prepared in case something happens here. But it looks like it's going our direction. We're not quite in the clear yet, guys. We've got about 2 more seconds to go. And that was a win. So actually that last one was a win. We can mark that as a win instead of a loss now. And the next trade amount is going to be 152. So now that we've won at least one of the trades inside of this session that we've been creating here, you know, now we can trade with a smaller amount. So that's what's good. And I think that where most traders, and especially those of you that are using, you know, binary options or pocket option, you know, you find yourself trading with larger and larger amounts. And you keep burying yourself into this hole. And then next thing you know, if you do have another loss on top of that, now you're even more negative than when you started. So the trade manager allows you in a certain way, okay, has a very advanced mathematical algorithm that utilizes your capital in a way where it helps you to get out of sessions and profit as much as possible. Of course, all the settings are completely customizable. You can make this super risky, but you can also make it very ultra conservative if you want to. The settings that I have are very ultra conservative. And what this means is that even though I've had 2 losses here, I only need to win 1 more trade to come out in profit for this session. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got 152 over here. Let's go ahead and enter that in. 152. And making sure everything is correct because, you know, I do have videos where I do make mistakes. You know, when you're creating videos, there's lots of fatigue. There's lots of stuff going on. You got to keep talking. And you also have to trade well. You have to watch the charts, make sure you're doing everything right. And I would say probably almost every video I do, I always have a slip up or something like that. And, you know, you can't go back and take it out. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, but it is what it is. And some of these things are not even noticed until I get them on YouTube. All right, so let's go ahead and look for a different setup here. Something else that we can work with. Okay, this looks interesting right here. It looks like we may be even coming into some resistance here from a former high over here. So this could be like a good zone to take a trade on. But this must close above the Bollinger Bands, and sure enough, it did. We're below the 20% on the ADX, and we're also in the overbought area, around 80% on the stochastic oscillator. So looking pretty good so far. You know, we're not entirely in the clear 100%, guys. This jumped down pretty quick. Let's take a look again on why we entered this trade. So we've got the green candle here. Both corners of the top of the green candle have closed, and it's clearly visible Nice. So we got another win with the Fab strategy. This is just incredible. I love this strategy so far. It's been going really, really well, guys. Something that even though, you're not going to win every single trade in a row, the key here though, guys, is the most important thing is you've got to have some type of money management with your trading. I'm kind of blown away. A lot of you reach out to me on Telegram all the time. And, you've been trading for several years, even 2 to 3 years or even more, and you've never used any type of money management before, right? And so that's pretty eye-opening, but you've also stated that you've blown several accounts over and over again. You just can't seem to get ahead. A lot of you have said that you have an issue with overtrading. If you do have a loss, you try to make up for those losses. And that's why in the private VIP group, we really recommend to use the trade manager to give you some type of structure to follow. So you're not just randomly putting in trades. You wake up and you walk up and you sit down at the charts. You have no idea what the trade amounts should be. Should I trade with $10 or $20 or $30? You absolutely have no clue. And next thing you know, you start trading. You find yourself in a situation. Should I put more into this trade? Should I put less? You just don't know. And this trade manager takes out all of the guesswork for you. So you really don't have to worry about any of that, guys. Okay, that's one of the great things about this. And it also relieves a lot of stress because I know we do have a lot of stress out there when it comes to trading. This is also going to help you with that. But you can get this. And by the way, guys, if you want the settings for this indicator, now this is an exclusive strategy, okay? I've shown you the basis on exactly how this works, on when to enter the trades and which indicators to use. Now, as far as the settings and everything, we have kept this exclusive to only the members that are a part of our VIP group over at the Wealth Warriors Alliance. And so this is a private group that you can join and you get the trading manager. So you get everything with it. It includes all of the other spreadsheets that we have. A lot of them are not even listed on the website, but you can go to the website. I will leave a link down below in the description of this video. You will also find a link down below in the comments area, and you can master trading with cutting edge tools. You can discover the best tools and strategies for binary options. So do we have strategies in the members area? Absolutely. Do we have tools? Yes. Do we have a full-on community of other members and some advanced and more experienced user? Are they out there willing to help you and answer your questions? Absolutely. All of this is included. Do we have hours of video training to help you? Yes, that's included. So here's the VIP community. We've got ongoing support. If you have any questions or anything like that. Are there members doing this? Yes, we have over 700. I think this is higher now. I keep updating this, but now at the moment of this website, it's 760 active users, but we've got more than that now. And there were so many members that have came to me. They have never been profitable in years until they have joined the VIP group. And you can see right here, they have not been profitable until now. And so I've included some of the screenshots. I think I have over like 100 screenshots of all the success stories, the reviews, and the results that a lot of the members out there have been getting. Your withdrawals, so not just the income, but we're talking about actual real withdrawals that you're making out of Pocket Option. And I've included those screenshots here so you can see everything. And the trading history, I've posted it all here right on the website. So you guys can go over there and check that out. You can trade on your own terms, trade anywhere. Results are not typical. This is just for those of you that really want to take this seriously and you need to stay focused and practice. And we've got all the educational materials and videos to help you. And so you guys can achieve your goals and you can compound your earnings with a lot of the different tools and spreadsheets that we've included inside of the group. So make sure to check that out, guys. So that's the website. But this is a great strategy if you're looking for something a little bit more counterintuitive, something with a little bit more structure. Instead of just clicking on the mouse and entering randomly. And we've got a lot of different strategies where we enter based off of the seconds of the candles and stuff. But if you're looking for just more areas of confluence with real market movement, looking at several indicators, looking at different things like the Bollinger Bands, looking for those overextended and underextended areas before you enter. This is the perfect strategy for that. So I wish you all the best of success. Try this out, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.